Hello, my name is Edward Hudgens.
And I'm Will Thomas.
This is the Atlas Society State of the Cultures Update. And today's topic is the Civil War within the Republican Party. Now, recently, New Jersey Governor Christie warned of the danger of the libertarian element within the Republican Party, and he singled out Senator Rand Paul. Now, Paul responded by calling the New Jersey governor the king of bacon because of his big spending ways. And this food fight is just the latest manifestation of a deeper philosophical argument going on within the party concerning the direction of the party. It's exactly the debate that we need right now. However, friends of freedom really have to understand what the basic issues involved are.
Well, that's right, Ed. I think it is a really important issue. And you know who else noticed that? George Will, the conservative pundit. Will pointed out that libertarianism basically says that before the government abridges the freedom of individuals or abridges their freedom of contract, it has to make sure that A, there's a compelling reason, and B, that the action's warranted under the Constitution. And he said in that case, if Christie thinks that libertarianism is dangerous, well, many people are going to think that Mr. Christie is dangerous. And I think we've noticed also that Christie is not immune to making libertarian arguments himself. Why, he fired back at Rand Paul, saying that far from being the king of pork, in New Jersey, they're sending more tax money to the federal government than they're getting back in benefits. So the rest of the country's mooching off of New Jersey. And he pointed out that by contrast, Kentucky gets about 50% more benefits from the federal government in terms of entitlements and government programs than it pays back in terms of taxes. Either way, we're seeing libertarian ideas getting into the mix here. The Republicans are arguing about the right ideas, but are they arguing for the right reasons, Ed?
Well, look, that's the question, Will. Look, it's good that libertarian Republicans, unlike their establishment Republican colleagues, are seeking huge cuts in federal spending, seeking to block the implementation of Obamacare, and opposing government collection, massive collection of data in the name of national security. But there are two things that these libertarian Republicans have to keep in mind. And the first is the need to defend freedom on the moral right of each individual to run their lives as they see fit, to pursue their own happiness and flourishing. Republicans should not wimp out by defending the notion that, well, policies can be justified only because they serve society. Government has to somehow run, for the good of society, or to because they know better than the government knows better than us how to run our lives. The second point is this: to the extent that libertarian Republicans can distance themselves from conservatives who put their social agenda first, in other words, banning gay marriage, for example, to that extent they can distance themselves, they're going to have a better chance of attracting the new telecommunications and information age wealth creators, the Jeff Bezos types, for example, who realize that individual initiative is what creates wealth, who are skeptical of government, but who really don't want to have anything to do with a political party that they see as dominated by intolerant social conservatives.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned Bezos, Ed. Of course, Bezos is really in the news right now because he's buying the Washington Post, and all the press reports are saying that his political views are represented by libertarianism with a small L. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
No, I mean, that's exactly what I mean, Will. These innovators have the spirit of Howard Roark. They should have the politics of a John Galt. And if the GOP can have a more consistent pro-liberty agenda, they're going to be able to attract more of these wealth creators, more of these innovators, and they're probably going to be a lot more successful at the polls. This has been the Atlas Society State of the Culture Updates. Thank you for listening.